So from an accounting point of view, when you're doing a 1031 exchange, if you want to defer every cent of tax, you need to kind of juggle three balls in the air at the same time. First, you need to continue your investment into like-kind property that is of equal or greater value than what you relinquished. If I sell a property for $1 million and I only buy a replacement property for $10,000, the IRS is going to say, hey, where's your continuation of investment? We only see this paltry $10,000 replacement property. So to the extent I buy down in value, I'm going to recognize the gain dollar for dollar to the extent that I have a gain. Now the next ball that we're juggling is the equity. Whatever net proceeds you have from the sale of your relinquished property, that cash, that equity, needs to be redeployed into the new replacement property. If I put some of that cash proceeds into my pocket instead of into the replacement property, the IRS is going to tax me dollar for dollar to the extent that I put that cash in my pocket. So during the exchange process, I don't want to touch any cash. I want to reinvest all of my net proceeds into the new property. Now the last ball that we're juggling is debt relief. To the extent that you pay off mortgages, deeds of trust, liens, and debt associated with the relinquished property, we need to offset that debt relief with new debt on the replacement property or cash in. If you win the Powerball lottery on the way to your replacement property closing and you can pay cash for the replacement property, that cash in out of pocket will also offset the debt relief. Now many taxpayers don't want to continue into a replacement property of equal or greater value, and they're happy to do just a partial 1031 exchange. There's a tipping point where if you buy down too much in value, you don't get much or any tax deferral. And so it's important to work with your professional advisors, your CPAs, your accountants, your financial planners, to find out where that tipping point is. And it can be sort of dependent on how much remaining adjusted basis you have in the old relinquished property. A nifty trick that sometimes taxpayers will use, especially if they want to put some cash in their pocket, is that they will complete the exchange into a new, bigger, better, more expensive replacement property. They'll reinvest all of their equity. They'll offset what debt relief they had on the old property with new debt on the replacement property, and then in a subsequent post-closing transaction, they'll go back to their bank and refinance the replacement property to pull out some equity later in a subsequent transaction. By borrowing the money and having this offsetting liability, that's not treated as income under the United States tax code. That is a debt that you have to pay back, and therefore it's not considered income.